Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever it is you're dialing in from. Welcome to Aforza's Anniversary Edition release webinar. Now, this is our 15th release at Aforza, and the theme of this release and this webinar is really around how you can maximize effectiveness, efficiency, and compliance with vertical AI-powered business processes for your industry. Now, today, I'm joined by our co-founder and chief product officer, Nick Eales, and he's going to be taking us through the demonstrations today and really showing you the powerful functionality that all of the product team have been building over the last few months. But we're going to start off with a recap of Aforza, our innovation journey so far, and then an introduction to vertical AI, perhaps a new term that you've heard of. We're going to cover that, and introducing two new really exciting areas of Aforza, and that is the Studio Marketplace and also the Industry Business Process Library. Then we're going to jump into really the exciting part, is the Anniversary Edition release overview. And that's going to be 3 demonstrations that Nick will be leading, showing how we drive promotion ROI on every channel, how you guarantee best practices for all of your roles, and really how you supercharge productivity across everyone in your business. And then we'll wrap up with how you can maximize the value of Aforza with what you're using today, how you can get started with this release, and also how you can train your entire team with Aforza's new training academy. Now, we've also got some time dedicated at the end for Q&A, so any questions that you feel you need to ask throughout this webinar, then please just ask them through the chat, and we will get to them right at the end of the demonstrations. So as a recap on Aforza, where our focus is and the journey that we've been on, we're built on the shoulders of cloud computing giants, Salesforce and Google Cloud, and we have apps that work for iOS and Android, on mobile, on tablet, completely offline when you're in the field. And really, we're a connected end-to-end platform that spans from planning to visiting, photo automation, to selling and promoting on every single channel, be that B2B, field sales, telesales, DMS, HQ ordering. We connect the sales value chain all the way from manufacturing right down to the retailer. And we're trusted by leaders all around the world. Some fantastic partners that we have on the screen here. And to anyone who is new to the Aforza family, welcome, and welcome to your first release webinar. This is our 15th, as I mentioned at the beginning. And really, we've had 5 years of continued innovation. And I think it's really important to note how we innovate. So we take the lead. We're driven by the market changes, by what's becoming available. For example, AI in the last 18 months has skyrocketed, but we listen to our customers. Our roadmap is driven by customer feedback. And as you can see, from release 1 all the way to release 14 to release 15 today, you can see some of the customers that really influenced our roadmap and helped guide us to get the perfect solution for you, for our partners, for our customers all around the world. So really, this is, an update, a reminder, but also a call to action. Talk to us, get in touch with us about what you're seeing in the field when you're using Aforza, where you see the future of technology, because we are partners and we want to deliver and build the best mobile and cloud applications for your industry. Us as a company are completely aligned behind that vision. So please get in touch with your customer success manager, whoever it may be at Aforza. We would love to hear your ideas. Now, that continuous wave of innovation, it just won't stop. Aforza grows from strength to strength with each release. Now, if I sound quite biased, please don't just take my word for it. We speak to a lot of industry analysts everywhere around the world, and one of the most premium is the POI, the Promotion Optimization Institute. And every year they release 2 reports, and one is around enterprise planning, so TPM for those familiar with that term, as well as retail execution. Now, we play well at Aforza in both of these areas, but we look at both of those areas as combined. And POI is actually now releasing for this year, for the first time, a combined report across TPM and retail execution. They're listening to the manufacturers and what is needed with a truly connected platform, which is what Aforza offers. So we're really excited for this year's POI Panorama reports. And if you want to download any of the existing reports we have already, then please just head to the Aforza website and you'll be able to see all of the results at the click of a button. And we perform so well because truly we are connected. So if I bring up the Aforza solution map, we're starting on the bottom, we can see, as you know, we're built on Salesforce, on Google Cloud, the shoulders of those cloud computing giants. We work for Apple iOS, for Android, for mobile and tablet, completely offline, and we integrate with everything. Your ERP systems, be that SAP, be that Oracle, enterprise messaging platforms, WhatsApp, through Meta, Slack, and leveraging the power of AI with services like Google Gemini, OpenAI, as well as our amazing image recognition partners who are all available on the Studio Marketplace, which Nick is going to get to in just a moment, where you can leverage the power of Neuralabs, of EasyPicky, Parallel Dots, Infolect, all within Aforza and Aforza Studio. So you can get started today. Now, when you combine this with our powerful segmentation, our pricing, promotion and prediction engines, as well as all of our trade promotion management functionality and our retail execution functionality, this is where you can truly execute on every single channel. Field sales, merchandisers, telesales, all the way through to distributors. It'll be the same price, the same discounts, the same engines, absolutely everywhere, so you're getting guaranteed, connected execution across all of those channels. Now, with the rapid growth of AI in the last few years, Aforza is perfectly positioned to integrate artificial intelligence to every single area of our entire platform. And when you combine this with photo automation, Aforza Studio in the nice blue in the middle of the solution map, your reps, all of your roles in your teams become unstoppable. Now, if vertical AI is a new term for you, then let's spend a moment to explain the differences between horizontal AI and vertical AI, specifically with Aforza. There's been a huge AI hype recently, and horizontal AI is great to get started. There's business value in lots of different areas within horizontal AI. You can generate emails or blog posts, perhaps snippets of coding, microsites, any marketing tools. And really, horizontal AI works for a number of different industries. For example, automotive, utilities, telco, even consumer goods. But vertical AI is a deep use case that's only relevant to that specific industry. So if we use the medical industry as an example, vertical AI could help with diagnosing specific patients, perhaps generating personalized treatment plans based off all the data available. Perhaps it's using assistants to provide remote patient care, or even medical research and data analysis and looking at trends within certain viruses, bacteria movement. Very, very specific vertical AI to that medical use case. Now, for consumer goods, vertical AI is predicting a current order. It's identifying share of shelf. It's suggesting the perfect store visit for a field rep, pulling in massive amounts of data and offering a prompt to that user in the field to say, this is what you should be doing in this store to maximize value for this customer. Perhaps it's optimizing your promotions with all of the data available to that AI model. Perhaps it's understanding a voice summary from a store visit, literally a field rep talking to an AI assistant and generating actions from that conversation. Business value comes from industry-specific and role-focused AI use cases. Horizontal AI is novel and new, and there's incredible productivity gains to be had from artificial intelligence, but vertical AI is business critical. And without spoiling too much of what's going to be shown in the next few demonstrations, Nick, I'm going to hand over to you now so you can introduce everyone to the Studio Marketplace, the Business Process Library, and when the time comes, vertical AI within Aforza. So Nick, are you there, Nick?
Hi, Colin. Yes, I'm here. Welcome to everyone. I'm extremely excited about our anniversary edition release. As you can imagine, we've been around 5 years now. We've made significant strides in terms of our product and what we're bringing to you, our customers. And I'm really pleased to announce all of the great new features and all of the new capabilities that are being packed into this release. So without further ado, let me talk you through our release webinar and take you through some of the demonstrations that you're going to see here today that highlight some of those new capabilities. So the first two things I want to talk about before I get into those demos are the launches of two new really key initiatives on our website. The first is our Studio Marketplace. So if you're an Aforza Studio customer, you already know that you can use it to connect to the likes of Neuralabs and Parallel Dots and Salesforce. But what we've done is taken that to the next level with the introduction of a marketplace where vendors from across the consumer goods industry are all adding their software to the marketplace that you can connect to. So you're going to see the likes of more image recognition vendors. You're going to see more communication apps. You're going to see other software vendors that you can connect to directly from your studio workflows. So we've just launched this. We already have some exciting vendors on there, and you're going to see more launching over the coming months. So watch this space. But this is a great testament to our partnership with all of the other key software vendors in the industry. And again, opening up these capabilities to you as a customer so you can gain value from them. So the marketplace for Studio is live. And then the second key thing you're going to see on our website very shortly is our guides library. So I'm sure you're all familiar with guides. It's our business process tool for helping your field teams execute in a step-by-step fashion. Now what we've done is we've built a number of best practice guides. In fact, we've got over 30 to begin with many, many more coming soon. And what you can now do is browse them on our website, and you can simply, with the click of a button, download them and start using them with your teams. So we're bringing all of the best practices that we've gathered from our industry experience and from our partners and our customers, and we're now providing them to you as an out-of-the-box feature that you can use and leverage within your organization. So Studio Marketplace and the Guides Library, two fantastic new additions to our website, to our product, that are now available for you to use. And what I'm going to do now is actually talk to you about some of the more granular features that we've released. So in this release, we're helping you do three main themes or things. The first is helping you drive your promotion ROI and your volume forecasting on every channel. So we've got new great features around joint promotion planning and volume forecasting, which I will show you in our first demonstration. And then secondly, we're helping you guarantee best practices for all of your processes. So as I just mentioned with guides, we're now able to create these libraries of guides that you can use. You can also build out your own guides, and we've enhanced what you can do with the guide significantly. You can now capture orders, you can complete audits as part of a guide. So we're going to show you some of that in demonstration 2. And then demonstration 3, supercharging your productivity, right? And we're doing that through the power of AI. So Aforza AI is a new capability that lets you interrogate and drive value and get insights from your studio assets. So in our third demonstration, you're going to see how we use Aforza AI and our other studio capabilities that we've launched to really gain some insights and to drive some actionable results from your assets that you gathered from the field. So they're the three key areas we're going to go through. Let's jump straight into demonstration 1, where we're going to start going through this. So as I mentioned, demonstration 1 is about driving your promotion ROI. And there's two key areas that we're focusing on for that. The first is our Aforza account planning. So this is where you're going to see how we can start creating joint business plans or account plans where we can do our volume forecasting. You're going to be able to model your sell-in, your sell-out. You're going to run your analytics on this volume forecasting, whether it's quarterly, monthly, or weekly. So you're going to see how we do that. And then you're also going to see on that same account plan how you can plan out and manage your promotions for that account. So before we had the promotion calendar, now you can actually quite quickly and easily copy all of your promotions year on year and use those to come up with that confirmed plan for an account going forward. So in this demonstration, we're going to be taking on the persona of Sophie, And Sophie wants to really start planning out her accounts for the next year. She wants to make sure that her volume and her promotion plans are set in stone and are generating the most revenue and impact for the business. So let's go into that demonstration, and I will take over as Sophie and walk you through these features. So here I am logged into Aforza as Sophie, and as Sophie I'm looking at one of my accounts, the Fresh Start Shop Southeast. Now when I log on to that account, I can see my account overview where I can see my previous sales, the current outlet assets, the order history, our upsell opportunities, last visit, all of the usual stuff that's extremely valuable to me. But what I want to do now is actually work out my account plan for the rest of this year for 2024. So from the account, I can create new account plans. And when I click into the account plan, this is where I can see what I've been planning with my customer in terms of volumes, objectives, promotions, and all of the other things I need to do when I'm kind of trying to figure out a long-term agreement or a joint business plan. So here on my plan for 2024, I can see it's currently active, and I'm on my volumes tab where I can see my overall planned total revenue and my planned total profit. And I can see all of the products that we're going to be selling into this customer on each given month with their volumes. And I can quickly and easily search through all of these products, and I can make changes if I need to. I can look at the sell out versus the sell in. I can split this by weekly, monthly, or quarterly, depending on how I want to do business. Each of my account plans can have a different fiscal start, so that month 1 might be January, or it could be April, or it could be July. It could be anything you want. All of this then is factored into our calculations to give you that total revenue and profit. And I can very quickly add new products as I need to into my volume forecasting. And when I do that, I'm able to either manually enter the baselines or have them automatically populated from the base volumes from previous years. So very quick and easy to be able to upload all of my planned volumes for a given account. And then using that information, we're able to generate, using our analytics, what we think the predicted uplift is going to be for the rest of the year. Along my volumes, I can also look at my promotions that I want to run for this time period as well. So I can see all the different promotions that we're currently running as part of this account plan. I can see our predicted, our bases and our actuals and our target ROIs. I of course have my analytics to give me a more detailed view on how we are performing in the field. And if I want to, I can make in-flight changes by adding new promotions using either the available promotions that are already working from previous years, historical promotions, or promotion templates as well. I can pick any of these or multiple, and I can add them onto my plan for the year, where they will get added, they will get cloned, they will get added, the dates will be updated, and the volumes will be taken into account for my volume forecasting. So just like that, I'm very easily able to go onto an account plan, modify my volumes, add new promotions, and just make sure that we are set up for success with this customer. And if I wanted to do one for 2025, it would be as simple as clicking the clone button and moving all of this information into the next subsequent year. So now that I've got my volumes, my promotions in place for this customer, the next thing I want to do is to make sure that my reps in the field are executing correctly when they go to visit this customer or different outlets belonging to this customer as well. So traditionally to do that, I would go and I'd create a new guide or process from scratch. But what we can do instead now is use the Aforza process library to go and actually search through the list of best practice guides that are available and use one of those as a starting point for my field teams to execute from. So I open up the Aforza Guides website, and on here I can see all the business processes that are available to me to use straight away. And I can see there's processes for sales, for merchandisers, for trade planners, for delivery drivers, distributors, any type of persona that I might need. I have guides and processes available that I can look at and leverage for my users. So at the top, if I scroll back up, I can then see all the different filters. So I can filter it by persona, I can filter it by the specific solution I'm looking for, the format, and also the languages I need to support. And once I go in and I find that new contract in the field guide that I was looking for, I can click into it. And in here, I can see details about what this business process is. I've got a full flow diagram showing exactly what the user will walk through when they're doing this process with all the different steps and decisions. And then importantly, if I scroll down, I can see a guided flow or guided screenshot flow showing exactly what the user experience will be. And importantly, I can download this directly into my Aforza environment to use immediately. So now that I've found that best practice guide for generating new contracts, I can simply import it by using the import button. And when I do that, it immediately appears in my guide list, ready to be used. I can click into the guide to view the details of how it's been created. I can see there's a number of different steps from selecting your contract, a couple of terms and conditions that need to be filled out, the details of the merchandise, an order that we might want to create as part of this, and then the completion of the contract. So I can create a new version, and then I can tweak and tune any of these steps as needed. So I, for instance, can go into the terms and conditions, and in here, this is where I can see all of the different terms that have been set up, and I can now make sure that this is set up correctly for my specific business terms that we need to adhere to. So I can go in and I can edit any of these and make sure that the terms themselves are fit for purpose. And once I'm happy with any changes I've made, whether that's adding new steps or changing the existing ones, I can simply publish this guide, and now this will be available for all of my field teams to use and to execute when they go and visit my customers. So what did we see in this demonstration? We saw how Sophie, a key account manager, can easily go in and manage her accounts from a group level or store level, going in and storing the volume information, the promotion information, and coming up with that joint business plan for the coming years. We then saw how she was able to go and use best practice guides from the Aforza Guide Library to generate these visit step-by-step processes that her teams can execute. She was able to take a guide, download it, import it, and then tweak it to make sure that it meets the criteria that she has for her customers. Now let's move on to demonstration 2 so we can see how this guide is executed in the field. Okay, demonstration 2, we're going to focus on guides. So as we've just seen, the Aforza Business Process Library is a brand new feature that lets us easily and quickly grab best practice processes and start implementing them in your organization. Now we've seen how quick and easy it is to install a guide and to change it, but now what we're going to see is how that guide is actually executed in the field. And along with looking at the guide itself, we're going to see the new enhancements that have been made within guides, the new capabilities. So before, guides were very much just Q&A focused. We've now changed them so you can place orders within a guide, you can capture signatures, you can do audits, you can collect photos, you can view digital assets like contracts. There's a huge new host of capabilities available in guides, and we'll touch on some of them now in this demonstration. So in this demonstration, we're going to be now logging in as Thomas, and Thomas is going to be using the Aforza Field mobile application to go and execute a visit. And he's actually quite new. He's a new field sales rep. He really needs to maximize his time with the customer, maximize the revenue, make sure he's doing everything correctly. That's where Aforza Guides is going to come into play, because even though Thomas is a new rep, the guide is going to take him through a step-by-step process, making sure he collects every single bit of information and he's doing everything correctly. So we're going to walk through the demonstration and we're going to see how Thomas can log into the Aforza Field app and navigate to that visit. And when he's on the visit, he can use a guide to help him go through that step-by-step process. And he's going to go through that guide, he's going to create new contracts, he's going to place an order, and then finally we're going to see how when he completes that guide, we get a summary of all that key information that he's confident that he's collected everything correctly and he can move on to his next visit. So let's dive into the demo. So here we are logged in as Thomas to the Aforza Field mobile application. And Thomas can see his route that he needs to do today, and he can see his next visit is at a Fresh Start shop in the southeast. So he's going to go ahead and click on View Visit to start executing that. So he moves to the visit screen. He can see all the customer details, everything you'd expect. And after he's checked in, he can click on the Tasks tab. And this is where traditionally he would work through all the different tasks assigned to him. So he might have lots of different ones, like a capture order task, an audit to check stock levels. Maybe he has to get a new contract signed with that customer. Traditionally, he'd have to go through all of these one by one. He could select which ones he wants to do, which ones he doesn't. It's very free flowing. But in this case, there's a new way of doing your visit, and that's through a guided process. So instead, he's going to select Create a Guide. And this is something you can obviously set up for them automatically. But he's going to go ahead and he's going to do that contract guide that Sophie just loaded into the system for him. And he's going to go and start that guide. So now when he starts it, he gets taken through a step-by-step process to execute this visit correctly. So he goes through step 1, step 2, step 3, and on step 1, he can see that promotional image for this brand, and he can select the type of contract that's required. So he's going to choose the first option. And by doing that and clicking next, it's going to take him through the correct process to collect all the information needed for that type of contract. So he's going to enter the supplier details. He can select the start date of the contract. So let's change it to next month. And then he can make sure the customer accepts all the terms and conditions that are needed. He can now go through and he can update the account details if he needs to. He can collect a signature from the customer, and he can also sign it himself. So let's go ahead and sign this for Thomas. And then he can get the customer to go in and also sign their signature as well. Again, there's more terms that they have to sign up to. And then he can start collecting a lot of the information that's needed for this type of contract. So some very detailed, sophisticated processes that he's having to walk through, even as a new rep. And he's able to do it really easily and effectively because he's been guided that entire process. So he can go through, and again, he can select what type of merchandise is needed, what branding is needed on it, where he's going to put it. And from here, he can even see any contractual assets that might be needed or necessary for this. So for instance, the joint business plan we have with this customer can be opened up and viewed. Or we can look at the actual pictures and photographs of the branded fridge freezer or the other merchandise that we're putting in as part of this contract. And we can then prompt them to capture an image of where the fridge will be placed. So we can upload that location. And then we also have the option now within the guide to capture an order. So we've started the contract, we've selected where the merchandise is going to be displayed. Now, do we want to capture an order to collect some stock for this as well? Sure. So we're going to click on the capture order. And now directly within that guide, it started me in that ordering process. So I can go in and I can select the stock that we want, just like we can in the regular ordering process. We can put our discount in, we get the right price and the right promotions for that customer. And I can complete that order. It can run through all the standard credit checks and inventory checks, etc. And I can confirm it. And when I complete that order, I get brought back to the guide. I can see the order summary as part of that guide, and I can continue. It's also produced the receipt or the invoice as well as part of that. Now I can then also set up a payment for the cooler, so I can capture a payment, again, directly within the guide. And it's going to be a cash payment. And once I've completed that payment, I get brought back to the guide, and I can see the payment has been added, and I can see the receipt as well. Great. Now on completing the guide, I get final confirmation that the contract has been completed, and we now get to see a summary including all of the information that we've put in there, whether that is the details about the cooler, the order that was placed, the payment that was captured. All of it is here within the guide. We can see those signatures as well and the terms that were agreed to. And this can all then be sent to the customer for confirmation as well. So just like that, with a single process, where we were able to capture an order, do a payment, create a contract, upload a photo of the store, view our contractual assets, view promotional material, and Thomas, as a new sales rep, was able to do that without any help whatsoever, and he did it perfectly. That's the real power of guides now. You can do a full end-to-end visit process doing everything that you did before, but now there's guardrails in place to make sure that your reps are doing it consistently in the right fashion. Okay, what did we just see? We saw how Thomas was able to use the Aforza mobile application in a different way to how he could previously. He's now able to run through a guided process to do all of his tasks. And we saw how Thomas was able to create an order, capture a payment, create that contract, and sign it all off within that one guide. And importantly, that guide was taken from the process library that Aforza gives you, so you too can provide these best practice guides to your users with no implementation effort whatsoever. So let's move on to scenario 3. Okay, demonstration 3. And in this one, we're going to focus on Studio. So with Studio, we've released a bunch of new capabilities, ranging from our Aforza AI Assistant, which lets you interact and gain insights from your assets, your photos, your documents, whatever they might be. And we've also then introduced features like Studio Collections, which lets you generate portfolios of different documents and assets which you can share with your customers. So we're going to talk through a few of these new features, and we're going to see them live in this demonstration. So meet Sarah. Sarah is going to visit a bar, and Sarah's job is to make sure that the brand is present in the correct locations in the bar, to talk to the owner and make sure that they're stocking the right products, and to offer any support that they need to make sure that we're getting the share of shelf and the share of menu that we should be within that establishment. So you're going to see in the demonstration how Sarah is able to come in and quickly capture information and photos about that bar, and then use Aforza AI and our other tools like Studio Vision to analyze and to recommend actions based on what she's captured. And then we're going to see how she's able to talk to the customer about new offers and new promotions, and leave a takeaway with Studio Collections for that customer to follow up with. So let's dive straight into the demonstration. So I'm logged into Aforza Studio as Sarah, and Sarah can see all of her previous assets, all the folders, so she can click through all of these to access exactly what she needs to execute her visit correctly. She's going to go straight into the customers folder and find that Fresh Start bar that she is visiting. And when she gets into the folder, she has immediate access to all of the different promotional material, brochures, contracts, anything she might need to talk to that customer and help them understand the brand and help her execute that visit correctly. But before she does that, she wants to grab some photos of the bar, of the menus, so she can work with Aforza AI to automatically analyze what's going on at that location. So she can click Create New, and she can choose to upload a live photo or use a gallery image. I'm going to use a gallery upload for the purpose of this demonstration. And from here, she can go through and she can take her photos. So I'm going to go ahead and select a photo of the back of the bar. And I'm going to select 3 photos of the menus that I've taken here in the store. So I've gone through and I've captured 3 separate photos of the different pages. So I'm going to add those. They're now added to our upload manager, and from here I could rename them, I could add some tags. What I'm actually going to do is for those menu images, I'm going to stitch them all together so they come up as one image, so it's just a single menu. So that's great. So we've now got a full menu that's been stitched together, and we've got a picture of the back bar. So I'm going to go ahead and upload those. Fantastic. So I can now see those photos have been uploaded to the customer's folder, and what I can do is I can actually click into them, and this is where I can see the detailed information about that asset. And what you'll notice is now in the bottom of your Studio application, we have the Aforza AI agent, the assistant, there to help you. And if I click on the icon, this opens up the AI assistant, and this is where I can start asking questions about this particular asset and driving actions. I have some prompts at the bottom there, so I can easily click on something like detect brands, and this is going to prompt the Aforza AI assistant to give us detailed information about the brands visible in that photo. So in just a few seconds, it's able to come back and say, here are all the different brands I have found. Now I could start asking which ones are ours versus our competitors, etc. But for now, I'll just take the full list. Now I can save all these brands to this customer automatically, and from that we can start generating more actions, like perhaps one of our key competitors are there, so we start opening up a new promotion for that particular location. I can also use Aforza AI to do things like capturing orders. So perhaps we've caught a photo of a handwritten order that the customer would like to place. I can use Aforza AI to quickly ask to create a new order from that. And again, in just a few seconds, the AI is able to analyze that photo, look at the different products that need to be ordered and the quantities, and create that new order for us in the system. So Aforza AI is really there to help us with any sort of image or file related task, and is available for all of your field agents and your back office staff to use as needed. Let's take a look at that menu that we captured here. And when I click into the menu, I can see it's all been stitched together. And I can also click on the right-hand sidebar, and I can see how Studio Vision has automatically detected all of our brands versus our competitor brands. So I'm able to see that we've got a 39% share of that menu versus 61% of our competitors. And it goes through all the different brands I've got versus all the competitor brands that have been spotted as well. Now this is using Studio Vision, which is our text recognition. So within just a few minutes, I'm able to create these different categories with our brands versus our competitors, and have them analyze your shelf photos, your shares of menu, your back bar photos very, very quickly and easily. And again, I can use Aforza AI to offer insights and more actions from these photos. So if I was to click on Aforza AI, I can ask a quick question. And we can gain valuable insights about it immediately. So we've taken some photos, we've analyzed them, we've created an order. So we've had a very successful visit thus far. We're now speaking to the customer and showing off our new promotions, our new brochures, and telling them about different ways that we can add our products to the bar and increase sales and revenue. And before we leave, the customer requests that they can see that promotional material again. So what we can do is actually go ahead and create what we call a collection. So I can go ahead and start selecting these, and I can select all of the different assets here, and I can go and add those to a collection. So we're going to create a new collection. We're going to call this the Fresh Start Bar Proposal. And we've added all of the assets here, so all the promotional content, the contracts, the share of menu, and we've added that to a collection. And in this collection, I can now see all of that content. I can add a description. I can change the logo to perhaps the customer's logo, and I can activate it and share it. And when I share it, I can password protect it, and I can also set a start and expiry date that the customer is allowed to access this from, and then I can go ahead and copy the link. So I can send that link to the customer, and they can now access this specific collection, and they can see all of the different material that we were talking about, and use that to make the decision on the new promotions and the new orders that they might place with you. So in that very brief demonstration, you saw how using Aforza Studio, Sarah was able to quickly capture photos of menus and stitch them together, use AI to analyze those photos and tell us information about them, whether that's the AI Assistant or it's Studio Vision or image recognition. And then how we're able to have a conversation with the customer and, using the digital assets, leave takeaways in the form of a collection so that the customer has access to these digital assets, whether they're your PDFs or your store photos, to make more informed decisions and to hopefully buy more product from you. So that's the end of our 3 separate demonstrations. Hopefully you saw some interesting new features. We think there's a lot of value there, and we're really excited for you to get hands-on with these and to start using them. But with that, I think I will hand it back to Callum, who has a few closing remarks, and then I think we've got some Q&A as well. So Callum, back over to you.
Wow, that was incredible. Thank you, Nick. And thank you to the entire product team who tirelessly work to continuously innovate Aforza with each of these releases. So a round of applause to everyone who's consistently driving that innovation at Aforza. Really, really incredible. Makes me very, very excited about the future, and already excited for the next release coming this winter. I'm excited to see where the Aforza solution is growing. Now, as a recap, we just saw Nick jumping into the business process library, and to all of our customers and partners on the call today, you can access this right now. So you can head to that URL there on the screen. You can scan that QR code, and you can download the guides and business processes that we have today, and you can start using them in minutes. You can roll these out to your field teams before we even finish this call. Truly amazing. And we will be continuously updating and growing this library. So to any of our customers and partners on the call that have ideas on best practice processes that might be specific to your activities that you do, get in touch with us. We would love to get this into a process for you, so you can download this and roll this out to all of your different teams. Now, if you want to see any more demonstrations, we covered a lot of roles today, but if you want to see all of Aforza's demonstrations, then again, head to the Aforza Demo Center, and you can access all of the latest demos, all of the product tours by persona. So if you want to see demos for a trade planner, for a key account manager, for a merchandiser, a delivery driver, head to the Aforza Demo Center, check it out, and if there's anything that you want to see specific to you, to your business, please get in touch with us. We would love to demonstrate the power of Aforza for your specific use case. Now, if there's any information you need about the release notes, then you can head to the Anniversary Edition release page, where you've got all of your release notes, the documentation, specific user guides, a recording of this webinar once it's ready, and it's all available to download, to view in your own time. As you can tell, I think we are very passionate about the Aforza solution, the Aforza products that we provide for our amazing partners, our amazing customers, and all we want is to make sure that you are maximizing your value with Aforza. And on that note, we have released the brand new Aforza Training Academy. So we rolled this out earlier this year, and it's about elevating your skills with really comprehensive training programs where you can help drive the value of Aforza within your specific company. So we've got courses on retail execution, trade promotion management, Aforza Studio, which you saw today, as well as Aforza Analytics. You can get certified, and if you head to the link here, you'll see the latest training schedule, and you can sign up and really become an Aforza champion at your company. And of course, you can always get in touch with your customer success manager, one of us at Aforza, and we would be more than happy to help, especially to help you using the solution in the best way possible. Now, I've seen there's been a lot of questions coming in through the demonstrations. So we're now going to jump to some Q&A. Nick, are you there to help me answer? I'll ask you some of the technical questions there. Are you there, Nick?